Hundreds of Fresno Unified staff members now face an uncertain future after the school board delayed a vote to move forward with layoffs. Why trustees say they're holding off on a final decision, why this delay has many employees worried time is running out for future negotiations.
An FBI investigation centering on the Los Angeles Unified School District and a raid of the superintendent's home now leaving many questions still unanswered.
Saw a gentleman from the behind getting cuffed and put into a vehicle. I don't know if it was him.
Like 5 helicopters in the air. I was like, what's going on?
What other locations agents searched in connection with this investigation, and what some say could be the reason search warrants were served against the superintendent.
A construction company now working to change the home building game. Why they say California is the perfect place to put a new housing model to the test, and why it could be the answer to the state's housing affordability issue.
Fog returns to the San Joaquin Valley, and yeah, we got to talk about some visibilities associated with that. Plus, we got a couple chances of rain on the way for you next week. Details coming up in your Great Day forecast.
You're watching Fox 26, and now, Great Day.
Good morning. We begin this hour with a live look at the Shasta Dam in Northern California. A beautiful sight, a calm sight. Clear there, but here, we'll see in a few hours. Good morning to you. I'm Liz Gonzalez.
Good morning. I'm Christina Rodriguez. Carl Cook is off today.
And I'm Justin Willis. Thank you for joining us. So yeah, fog's back.
Oh no.
I mean, the conditions were coming for it. I mean, it didn't seem like it was really going to take effect until maybe tomorrow, Saturday, but there is a dense fog advisory in effect for today. The conditions are there for it, so let's show you what's happening out there. Right now, there are some places where the fog is picking up. In Fresno, it's just on the cloudy side. It seems like it's kind of hanging pretty low out there for you, but right now it's 57 degrees. The winds are out of the northwest at 7 miles an hour, and that dew point is at 56. The closer that dew point gets to the temperature, we start to see some fog out there. So that's what's starting to happen here. All right, at 10 a.m. it's going to be 61, at noon 67, at 5 71 degrees, and it's going to be fairly cloudy out there for us today. Wind speeds will be about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Coming up next, we're going to check the visibilities out there for you throughout the morning, and we're going to take a look at those next chances of rain.
The Fresno Unified School District Board of Trustees is now facing a tough decision, still weighing staff reductions that could impact more than 200 employees across the district. With hundreds of jobs on the line, the boardroom was packed last night. Anxious employees and union leaders filled the seats waiting to see just how trustees would vote. Many of those in attendance showed up in solidarity, showing support for colleagues whose futures now hang in the balance.
To even consider cutting our school counselors, to consider cutting project access people, to consider cutting job 2 supports, caseworkers, people who are there for our vulnerable population, and it's unthinkable to get rid of preschool. I've never worked in preschool. God bless them. That is not my heart. But to think of cutting that down, to cut 19 programs, unthinkable.
Fresno Unified trustees did not take a final vote that many were expecting last night. Instead, they say they're required to move forward with the proposed layoffs by March. They emphasize the decision is not set in stone, calling it a required step as the district continues exploring other options to navigate budget challenges. The district says resources and programs are being eliminated or realigned to reach the district's goals and guardrails. $39 million of reductions are planned for the 2026-2027 school year. In October of last year, it's worth noting that the district offered an early retirement incentive to reduce the impact on classrooms during the budget process. 573 employees opted to retire, creating a significant drop in staff already. That program is expected to save about $56 million over the next 5 years. But the district says it still falls short of the $50 million needed for next school year. And Fresno Unified, by the way, not the only district facing layoffs. Across the state, school districts are grappling with the same difficult reality: budget shortfalls, staffing cuts, and uncertain futures. Take a look at this map. In Sacramento County, San Juan school district is considering laying off up to 300 people, including teachers, counselors, vice principals, and school staff. Plus, nearly 200 instructional assistants and campus safety monitors are at risk. In Sacramento City Unified School District, more than 400 positions will be eliminated. In San Francisco, officials say that difficult decision is yet to be formalized. And in LA Unified, more than 650 employees have already been laid off as part of a cost-cutting plan there. Happening today, the Fresno City Council will consider a new California bill which requires that by 2031, all school zones in the state must have a maximum speed limit of 20 miles per hour instead of 25. Fresno City Council Vice President Nelson Esparza is leading the charge on slowing people down near school zones. And while 5 miles per hour difference doesn't sound like much,
lowering school zone speed limits saves lives. According to the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, a pedestrian struck at 20 miles per hour has about a 46% chance of sustaining a moderate or worse injury. At 25 miles per hour, that risk jumps to 62%.
Asked city officials just how much this would cost, but they currently don't have any estimates. Now, the resolution on the agenda at today's city council meeting, council members can either pass it or wait some time before changing these speed signs.
Our time is 5:05 now, and yeah, we're starting off with the fog tracker here this morning because, well, as you can see, things are really starting to pick up for us there in some of the Central Valley here. Right now, parts of Fresno there and Merced counties, we're looking at 3/4 mile visibility at the moment there, maybe just 1.5 miles there in Madera. Reedley's at 2.5 mile and 3/4. And this is all just picked up in the last hour here and likely going to continue as the morning goes on here. So nothing terrible right now, but there is a dense fog advisory in effect until 10 o'clock this morning, and we could get down to about 1/4 mile visibility in all of these areas here this morning here. All right, if you have a foggy day schedule, if it does get bad enough out there and you need to report one to us, you can always do that at KMPH.com. You drop down to weather, you click on school closings, and you submit the information that way. All right, what else is going on here? Well, first, let me explain why the fog is happening here. We've had this stagnant high pressure. Temperatures have been pretty well above normal because of it, but now we got some troughing that's really picked up a little bit sooner than expected there along the coastline there to the east of us there, and our dew point is starting to get closer to the temperature this morning there. So we're going to have fog because of that, but there is some rain that is coming. Probably not until about Sunday. It'll start to take shape Sunday, really, where we get some activity in the northern Sierra there about Sunday afternoon. That'll pick up even more so by Monday morning there to the rest of the Sierra with some heavy snow up in the higher elevations. They're going to put it about 8,000 feet there on that snow there with rain in the foothills there, and maybe some of that getting into Fresno and Clovis there Monday morning there. It'll kind of hold along the areas of the foothills and mountains there for the most part there throughout the day. Monday, a little bit of activity there along the coastal mountain ranges there. And then we get another chance on Wednesday. Yeah, it looks like by Wednesday morning there, we could see another system pull in. This one might be a little colder coming from the Gulf of Alaska, and that one, the snow levels might get down to 6,000 feet. So Monday and Wednesday are looking like our next best chances of rain for us in the coming week. All right, temperature-wise, we're in the 70s still. 73 today, 74 tomorrow, as if that wasn't warm enough for us for this time of year anyway. Look at Saturday. We're going to get an 80 on the dot there for you there. By the way, the record high for Saturday is 83. We're going to get a little close to that with an 80. 50s overnight, and we'll have cloudy skies for you into the weekend. Up next, we're going to get a look at the highs and lows for today across the rest of the San Joaquin Valley.
A $537 million change order is now sparking new criticism of the state's high-speed rail project. Congressman Vince Fong, whose district includes parts of Fresno, Tulare, Kern, and Kings counties, says that the approval adds to hundreds of contract amendments that have pushed up the cost by billions. Voters approved the project in 2008 with a $33 billion price tag and a 2020 completion date. But we're now in 2026, and the estimated cost, $128 billion.
This is just another dagger in the heart of this failed nightmare. There has not been one track laid. There has not been one train procured.
Fong says the latest change order raises serious questions about oversight and whether federal tax dollars were used. He's raising a prior federal decision to terminate, or rather praising a prior federal decision to terminate $4 billion in unspent funding, and says he wants more transparency moving forward. High Speed Rail Authority says that it remains subject to state transparency requirements and that the project is still underway. Meanwhile, as questions mount over cost and transparency, a new controversy is now focused on leadership. Assemblymember Alexandra Macedo, who represents Tulare County, sent a letter to Governor Gavin Newsom as well as the High Speed Rail Board's chair demanding the immediate removal of High Speed Rail CEO Ian Chowdhury. That's following his recent arrest for domestic violence in a case that police say involved a child. Macedo also cited concerns about financial ties between Chowdhury's fiance and a contractor that recently received a $24 million extension. It's worth noting that that arrest did not result in any charges, as police say they did not have enough evidence. The Clintons are gearing up for another fight against Washington after revelations of former President Bill Clinton's ties to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. What one ranking member of the House Oversight Committee hopes the president's upcoming testimony will reveal. And the FBI is remaining tight-lipped about an investigation into LA Unified and its superintendent, where the probe led them after raiding the superintendent's home and what some say could be the reason for this inquiry. And a live look now at the silhouette of El Capitan with a slight view of Half Dome in Yosemite National Park. Enjoying the beautiful skies and what appear to be some more meteors there as well. It is 5:10 and 35 degrees. You can find new headlines and the weather forecast on your screen all morning long, even through the commercial break.
Hi, I'm Monty Torres with Fox 26 News on YouTube. Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel, where we have loads of great content for you to choose from. And while you're here, why not click on the subscribe button right here? That way you can stay in touch with all the latest breaking news, everything news related within the Central Valley. And thank you for watching.